Yo, what up? It's Amaje back here with another video. Today we're back here with a different top 10. We're about to be reacting to top 10 worst American serial killers.
So it's no secret that the world is full of serial killers. No matter the country or the gender, there are serial killers of all types. But there are some serial killers that were way more brutal than others. So in this video, we're going to be discussing the top 10 worst American serial killers of all time. What's up guys, welcome back to World of Crime. In this video, we're going to be discussing the top 10 American serial killers, and we're going to be ranking them from least to most based on their kill or death toll. Because it's so hard to rank these serial killers because some are more brutal than others, we're going to rank them on how much people they actually killed, and some of it is pretty shocking and pretty brutal. So coming in at number 10, we have Paul John Knowles. It was proven that he killed up to 18 people, but he presumed to kill at least 35
never heard of
women.
him.
So we know 18 for sure, but it was suspected that he did kill up to 35 women. They just couldn't confirm the rest. He was active in 1994. He was killed in 1994 while in custody after attempting to grab the handgun off of the police officer that was escorting him. At least one woman met Knowles and described him as ruggedly handsome. His name was Angela Kovic. She started talking to Knowles during the early 1970s while he was in prison for a lesser conviction. Thinking she had found the man of her dreams, Kovic used her money to provide legal counsel for Knowles, and in May 1974 secured his release on parole. After he got out, he basically
Yeah, I never really seen like video like real life videos on there. I watched that one YouTube channel, the infographic show, so like they drew cartoons of them. So and I never like really kind of like seen their real face. So I might I'm pretty sure I know everybody on this list.
Angela did consult with a psychic who warned her of a new dangerous man entering her life. She then panicked and broke the engagement off with Knowles in person. It was said that Paul got mad that he got rejected, made him so angry that he went out that same night and killed 3 people in one night. Although this has not been verified, it is what he told the police. His cross-country killing spree began in July 1974 and ended in November 1974. Coming in at number 9, we have William Bonin. It was proven that he killed up to...
Yo, that's fucking crazy. He ended up killing 3 people because a girl wouldn't marry him? I was about to say that's crazy, but serial killer in the house right there.
21 people, but he presumed to kill up to 36 people. He is one of the lesser known serial killers that were born in 1947. He lived in Los Angeles and he would use the freeway systems to pick up his victims and later dispose of their bodies. Bonin killed at least 21 youths in the greater Los Angeles area in the late 1970s and early 1980s. The murder of a 15-year-old boy, Donald Ray Hayden, stands out especially brutal. On August 27, 1979 was Donald's last night alive. He was last seen on Santa Monica Boulevard at around 1 a.m. Later that day, his lifeless body was found beaten and strangled in a dumpster. There was evidence that Bonin had attempted to remove the boy's testicles while he was still alive and that he had been sodomized.
No.
Bonin also attempted to slash Hayden's throat. This wasn't unusual for Bonin, as he liked to torture his victims with ice picks and coat hangers before strangling them to death with his own t-shirt. He was eventually convicted and sent to death row in 1982. He was executed by lethal injection in February 1996. Coming in at number 8, we have Patrick Kearney. It was proven that he did kill up to 21 people, but it's presumed that he did kill up to 43 people. He was active in the years 1965 to 1977. So Patrick actually preyed on young men, the youngest person being 8 years old. He would pick them up along freeways or at gay bars. He was a necrophile and he was strongly adverse to inflicting pain on his victims. So he developed a technique of shooting them in the temple while driving. He would then drive to a secluded place to have sex with their corpse. He would often beat his victims' lifeless bodies as a way of getting back at the bullies who made fun of him for his 5'5" height during his high school years. He was caught when his live-in lover, David Hill, gave his address to a young...
The most of these years are just gonna be like probably the 60s to the 1999, maybe occasionally 2000s, but like that's when people really got like DNA shit like to a T and to a snap. That means like people weren't able to like move frequently as they have been because during the 70s and 80s, people were just gone missing. Oh my god, bro. Fucking disturbing. Holy shit.
A hookup. The young man told his family the address before departing, and upon his disappearance, the information was handed to the police. Due to a plea bargain, Kearney was spared death penalty, and he'll be incarcerated in California until he dies. Coming in at number 7, we have Earl Nelson. Earl Nelson killed up to 22 people, which has been proven, but it's presumed that he did kill up to 25 people. He was active way back then in 1926 to 1927. Oh. He was known as the Gorilla Killer. He was born in 1897 and was around the age of 10. Nelson collided with a streetcar while riding his bike and remained unconscious for 6 days. After he awoke, his behavior became erratic and he suffered from frequent headaches and memory loss. He began his criminal behavior early and he was sentenced to 2 years in San Quentin in 1915 after breaking into a cabin he believed to be abandoned. Nelson began engaging in sex crimes when he was 21 years old. In 1921, he attempted to molest a 12-year-old girl named Mary Summers, but she was scared off when she screamed and brought attention to him. He was committed to a mental hospital again and he began his killing sprees when he was released in 1925. Nelson's victims were mostly landladies whom he would approach on the premise of renting a room. Once he gained their trust, he would kill them, almost always by strangling them, and engage in necrophilia with their corpses. He would often hide the—
Bro, why is the common trend always necrophilia? Oh. That's fucking fucked up. That's really fucked up. You really you really just kill somebody and you just defile their corpse. That's fucked up. Oh shit. These people just have like disturbing ass minds and no wonder why they're on this list.
He went on to murder more than 20 people and was finally caught and hanged in 1928.
Good.
Number 6, we have Donald Harvey. Donald was proven to kill 24 people, but is presumed—
I'm sorry, I know it's not gonna like be solving like people killing. The people getting killed, but like I'm with them back in the 1920s of having that type of like mentality of like just getting somebody like that off the earth, because like it's just fucked up what he did to all of those victims. Oh. You did that and defiled somebody's corpse? Nah, you deserve to get hanged. Fuck that, bro.
That he'd killed 37. He was active in the years 1970 to 1987. He was known as the Angel of Death. Harvey was born in Ohio in 1952, but he moved to London, Kentucky to care for an ailing relative and a patient at Marymount Hospital. For nearly 20 years, Harvey was so-called Angel of Death at numerous facilities, most often smothering or hooking patients up to a faulty oxygen machines. Later, Harvey also expanded his methods using either cyanide injections or adding arsenic or rat poison to patients' foods. Harvey was also suspected of killing friends and acquaintances if they angered him. In 1987, he was finally arrested in Ohio after a patient's autopsy revealed he died from cyanide poisoning. He eventually pled guilty to 24 counts of first-degree murder. However, he confessed to killing more. A later investigation added another 13 counts, bringing his count up to 37. He is suspected to have killed about 50 people. In March 2017, he was found severely beaten in his jail cell. He died 2 days later. Another inmate, James Elliott, was charged with Harvey's murder. Coming in at number 5, we have Juan Corona.
See, that's that karma working back for you.
Confirmed that he killed 25 people. Juan was born in Mexico in 1934, but he moved to the United States in 1950s. In 1962, he was hired as a labor contractor at some fruit orchards in Yuba City, California, which had a population of about 13,000. A peach farmer named Gorjo Queichiro noticed an unusual hole about the size of a man in his orchard near Yuba City. The farmer then called the police, who discovered a mutilated body of Kenneth Whitaker. 4 days later, the bodies of 9 more men were found in shallow graves in the orchards. All of them had been hacked or stabbed to death. Most likely, although the police unearthed 25 bodies and eyewitnesses could link many of the victims to Corona, circumstantial evidence was found in his home, including a possible murder weapons and ledgers containing the victims' names. He was convicted in 1973, but the verdict was overturned in 1978 due to problems with his original lawyer. He was found guilty again in 1982 and received 25 concurrent life sentences. At the time of the murders, Corona was the most prolific serial killer in the United States. He applied for and was denied parole a total of 8 times. He died in prison in 2019 at the age of 85. Coming in at number 4, we have John Wayne Gacy, one of the most popular serial killers that a lot of people know, and one of the most disturbing. He was proven to kill up to 33 people, but is presumed to be at least 34. He was active in the years 1967 to 1978. He was a clown by day, but a cold-blooded killer by night. Gacy assaulted, tortured, and murdered at least 33 young men and boys between 1967 and 1978. Many of his victims were vulnerable runaways whom he would pick up from the streets. His sinister killing spree finally came to an end when witnesses reported he was the last person to have seen the final victim alive. It was discovered that the crawl space under the property had been used as a dumping ground for the bodies, or what he would later call it, a funeral parlor without a license. Gacy's legacy has lived on in the form of movies and even paintings he created himself, which caused quite a stir when he went up for sale some years ago. Most were purchased and burnt. Number 3, we have Ted Bundy.
Yo, that's fucking wild. His case is just so prolific and popular. I get why, because he fucking crazy. Like, what you can just get away with back then in that little whole era.
He killed 35 women, but it's presumed he killed at least 36. He was active in the year 1974 to 1978. Ted Bundy is one of the most recognizable and widely discussed serial killers in history. When you think of serial killers, he's probably the first name you think of. He was charming, handsome, and evil to the core. He confessed to brutally assaulting and murdering at least 30 women in several different states during the 1970s. He was born in 1946 and his family life was a complicated one. He was brought up to believe that his biological mother was his sister, but he was not mistreated or unloved. Experienced a lot of sexual relieving through the fictional stories. He said still nobody could have guessed how violent the young Bundy would grow up to be. On January...
That is fucking disturbing. Especially knowing that's the problem in your head. I would like to think of, like, what if these serial killers got help before any of this fucking happened? This whole thing, these whole stories would be so vastly different. I like to think of if they got help before that and nobody got hurt. Oh my god. Then we wouldn't know them or nothing. They wouldn't be known for this shit.
January 24th, 1989, he was executed in the electric chair on Florida State Prison. Coming in at number 2, we have Gary Ridgway. Gary Ridgway was proven to kill at least 49 people, but it's presumed that he killed at least 90 people. He was active in the years 1982 to 2000. Ridgway said that he picked up prostitutes because he thought, I can kill as many of them as he wanted without getting caught. Ridgway's game of playing cat and mouse with the police finally came to an end in 2001 when DNA evidence connected him to the murders. He was spared the death penalty as a part of a plea bargain in which he disclosed the locations of missing bodies. His plea bargain raised his murder convictions to 49. And then at number 1, we have Samuel Little. Was proven that he killed up to 40 people, but it's presumed that he killed up to 93 people. He was active from the years 1970 to 2005. Samuel, his mother...
Bro, I heard so much about this dude, Samuel Little. Like, I didn't even know who he was at first before this. You know how you just hear, like, stories of, like, the main serial killers across the line? You don't expect to hear about this nigga. When I heard about this nigga's case, and I was like, whoa, this nigga was crazy as hell. And, like, he killed people and had a mindset of, like, you know, like, I think he said, like, you know, you go to a neighborhood, you kill a white girl, they gonna be all looking for you. You go to a predominantly black neighborhood and kill like a black homeless girl or a black, you know, prostitute, they will not be looking for that. That's what was fucking sad and weirdly manipulative of him.
In high school, he had problems with discipline and was held in an institution for juvenile offenders after breaking into various properties. He eventually dropped out of school and took up amateur boxing with dreams of becoming a fighter like his hero Sugar Ray Robinson. As a light heavyweight prize fighter, he was known for his speed and earned the nickname Mad Daddy and Mad Machine. When it came to his female victims, he would knock them out cold with one punch before strangling them. This often meant that no obvious signs that a murder had taken place. The cause of death was often wrongly listed as accidental. Samuel has a photographic memory that allows him to recall the faces and body types of his victims. He also remembers specific details of the location of his crimes, such as how many arches were on the building or how far down the road. He would drive until he reached the exact spot to dump the body. Investigators have found that the serial killer enjoys the attention he receives from recounting all those details after decades of his crimes going undetected. The FBI continued to work to identify the victims that Samuel spoke of in taped confessions. Samuel died in December 2020, likely due to one of his numerous health conditions.
This video was fucking disturbing, and most people on this list were manipulative, necrophiliacs, and it's just so disturbing. Rest in peace to all the people that lost their lives to these sick motherfuckers. Hey, if you guys want to see more crime video genres, I'm gonna create a whole little playlist of this. Y'all want to see more shit I haven't heard of? Like and subscribe, and I'm gonna be out.